Hey folks! Some have commented that this is becoming a guitar channel, and I assure you that's not what's happening. We're still doing all kinds of crazy stuff, from casting metals and sculpting things and building cabinets and cat shenanigans and whatever else I think might look good on video at the time. But that said, let's take a look at some guitar shapes, shall we? This is a Gibson Les Paul Standard. I think it's one of the most beautiful guitar shapes there are. I love the headstock, I love the trapezoid inlays, I love the shape of the body, but it's as thick as a castle door, it weighs as much as the moon, and it has all the ergonomics of a cinder block. This is a Fender Strat. It's probably the most iconic guitar shape there is. It's immediately recognizable. I think the emoji for a guitar is this thing, but red. And it has a lot of curves, and the shape is a lot better than the Les Paul, but there's something about it that physically hurts my wrist when I play. Some have said that it's the neck thickness, or maybe it's just the overall proportions and how I hold it, but I can't play them because it physically hurts me. My quest for comfort led me to the Strandberg. This is the gold standard of ergonomics. And if you can get past the fact that if you get a black one it looks like an ink blotch, this is the absolute most comfortable guitar there is. Also, it's unbelievably lightweight. But this is intolerable, and I don't mean the lack of headstock, I mean the way you change the strings. You need a special tool to change your strings, and I know that is true also of any other locking nut like a Floyd Rose or something like that, but I find this absolutely intolerable. It's a deal breaker. Then we have the Abasi ME. This is an expensive boutique guitar that most people have never heard of, and I think this is as close to perfection as any guitar shape has ever come. It's unbelievably comfortable, it's lightweight, it has a proper headstock with proper tuners, and you change your strings without the need of any special tools. But I just wish everything was 1 inch that way. So I'm going to do what I always do when I can't find something already the way I like, and I'm going to build my own. If you're just going to wing it, you don't really need a pattern. Well, you should measure some things, but you can just freehand it. And if you're going to make something that is already out there, usually you get a pattern in the shape that you're going to make. In my case, I'm designing something completely new, so I had to make the pattern. And that included a lot of drawings. I have heard that it took PRS 2 years to design their Silver Sky guitars, which in my opinion is basically a Fender Strat with a few extra bevels, so I'm proud to say that it took me just one night to come up with this unholy love child of a Strandberg and an Abasi and a Gibson. So I glued up a whole bunch of little pieces of wood to make a slab that I can just make a test run, a practice, a proof of concept of the body shape before I commit to cutting into my very expensive mahogany. It's been over 10 years since I used this thing. Now that we have a pattern, we can finally start working on the actual body of the guitar. I can't route the output jack yet because it's going to be on the back and its depth is relative to the bevel that I'm going to put on this side here. So I need to pop my template out and do some sculpting. Time to carve some bevels and contours, and for that I have all these templates that will tell me exactly where everything is going to be. I get to use my brand new Shinto file. That's one down. Now free to go. This was a workout, but I got it done. I wonder if I can use the sander now to smooth it out a little.
"20 minutes later."
This worked out really well. I'm really happy with how it came out. Look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, we gotta make a neck, and I'm going to use the least knotty 2x4 that I could find. It's just a proof of concept, so it's gonna be fine. Yep, this will take a while. Cue SpongeBob time card.
Many minutes later.
That wasn't too bad. A little bit more coarse than how I normally make a violin neck, but it worked. And I don't know profile C, D, V, B, whatever, so you guys tell me what this is, but that's basically what it amounts to. It's a thin, fast neck. I have to say, not too bad for my first guitar neck. I mean, the real thing is gonna have a proper fretboard and frets and everything, and truss rod and all, but yeah, I'm happy with this, and it actually feels really good just the way it is. So when I do the real thing, I hope I can make it just like this one, because this one feels really good. Then came the part that I find truly nerve-wracking, which is attaching the neck to the body, and I used the laser to help me line everything up. Now the moment of truth. Let's see, and it fits perfect. Very good. Yep. And I've seen people online, they say, oh, you need to make it so snug that you can lift the body of the guitar by the neck, and the guy who's building his first guitar is going to tell you that that is completely wrong. You want it to be tight enough that you can begin to lift it, and then it comes off. And I have decades of experience as a woodworker, so that's my credentials. You don't want to be so tight that you completely squeeze all the glue out of the joint. You starve the joint out of glue, and it's not going to be a good joint. You don't want to use the glue as filler. Glue is never filler, unless it's epoxy. But you don't want it to be so crazy tight that it just squeezes it all out. Now let's check out with the laser if all my alignments are still correct. And the laser says we're still right on the money, so not bad for a first guitar neck. Speaking of lasers, we finally got a laser engraver. It makes it so much easier to brand stuff. Time to glue it up. Now it has to sit for a couple of days.
3 days later.
I'm going to sculpt this neck heel just a little because I can. There is no need at this point. This is just, a proof of concept, but might as well make it pretty. Alright. Ash, don't mess with my camera. I'm really happy with how this came out. In fact, I'm so happy that I wish I had just made it out of good wood to begin with, because then I could just set it up, put some strings, and it would be a guitar. But no, this served its purpose as a proof of concept. So now we just have to get some good wood and make the real deal. So where do I have some mahogany lying around?